10 car innovations that did not stand the test of time. Modern cars are marvels of engineering, filled with features that enhance comfort, safety, and performance. But not every automotive innovation has stood the test of time. Some ideas, no matter how revolutionary they seemed at the time, failed to maintain their place on the road. From futuristic designs to once essential components, the history of cars is littered with features that promised much, but ultimately faded into obscurity. Number 10. Bench seats. Let's get started with bench seats that stretched across the entire width of a car and allowed 3 people to sit in the front row, were a common feature from the 1920s to the 1980s. They were designed to maximize seating capacity and comfort, making travel more convenient for families and groups. In American cars, bench seats became a symbol of spaciousness and ease of use. People appreciated the ability to slide across the seat and exit from either side of the car. However, as safety standards improved, the drawbacks of bench seats became evident. They offered less support and protection compared to bucket seats, especially in collisions. And they lacked individual seatbelts and headrests for each passenger, raising safety concerns. By the 1980s, automakers began favoring bucket seats, which provided better support and allowed for the integration of advanced safety features like airbags and adjustable seatbelts. Hey, if you're enjoying this so far, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. We love having you here, and we love knowing what you think in the comments. Now back to the list. Number 9. Vent windows. These inventions, also called wing windows, were small triangular windows found at the front corners of car doors. Introduced in the 1930s, they allowed air to flow into the car before air conditioning was common. These windows could be tilted open to let fresh air circulate, helping to cool the car on hot days. Vent windows were especially popular in the 1950s and 1960s, becoming a unique feature of many classic cars. At first, drivers liked the convenience of vent windows, as they could get a breeze without fully opening the main windows, which was useful at high speeds. However, vent windows had drawbacks, like leaking during rain and being an easy target for thieves. As car designs changed and air conditioning became standard, automakers phased out vent windows by the 1980s, opting for more streamlined designs that improved aerodynamics and fuel efficiency, and not to mention security. Number 8. Ashtrays. Well, ashtrays were once a common feature in cars, offering a convenient place for smokers to dispose of cigarette ashes and butts. Introduced in the early 20th century, ashtrays became standard in most vehicles by the 1950s. They were typically built into the dashboard, doors, or center console, allowing easy access for drivers and passengers at a time when smoking was widespread and socially accepted. However, as awareness of the health risks of smoking increased, the demand for in-car ashtrays began to decline. Additionally, they posed safety risks, such as being a fire hazard if not properly maintained. By the 1990s, automakers had started phasing out ashtrays, replacing them with more practical features like cup holders and storage compartments. This change also reflected the growing number of people who were quitting smoking or choosing to not smoke at all. Number 7. Record players. In the 1950s, car manufacturers introduced record players as an exciting new feature for in-car entertainment. These players allowed drivers and passengers to enjoy their favorite vinyl records while traveling, a novel idea at a time when radio was the main source of music in cars. People were initially excited about this innovation, but the excitement quickly faded due to several practical issues. The bumpy ride caused the needle to skip, leading to a poor listening experience. Additionally, the record players were large and took up valuable space inside the car. Safety concerns also became evident, as changing records while driving was both distracting and dangerous. By the 1960s, in-car record players fell out of favor as better alternatives emerged. The introduction of 8-track tapes and later cassette players offered a more reliable and convenient and safer way to enjoy music on the road, leading to the end of the in-car record player era. Number 6. Landau bars. What are these, you ask? Well, they were a decorative feature added to cars to mimic the look of convertible carriages from the 18th century. These bars originated in Landau, Germany, where they were initially functional, supporting the folding roofs of horse-drawn carriages. As automobiles emerged, manufacturers adopted this design to evoke a sense of luxury and nostalgia. In the 1920s and 30s, U.S. automakers began producing cars with fixed roofs that featured simulated convertible tops with side Landau bars. These bars were purely ornamental, intended to give cars an elegant, old-world appearance, and became popular as a status symbol. However, as consumers realized the bars served no practical purpose, their appeal diminished. They added unnecessary weight and complexity and often rusted or broke, leading to maintenance issues. By the late 20th century, Landau bars were replaced by more practical features like sunroofs and panoramic roofs, which offered real benefits such as improved ventilation and natural light. Hey, if you're enjoying this so far, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. We love having you here, and we love knowing what you think in the comments. Number 5. Column shifters. Again, first introduced in the 1930s, were gear shift levers mounted on the steering column of cars. This innovation aimed to free up space in the front seat, creating a roomier cabin that could accommodate an extra passenger. These shifters were especially popular in American cars during the 1940s and 1950s, when large family sedans and trucks were common. Drivers appreciated the additional seating space and the straightforward design. However, as car designs advanced, the downsides of column shifters became more noticeable. They often lacked the precision of floor-mounted shifters, leading to issues when selecting gears. Additionally, the linkage mechanisms were prone to wear, resulting in maintenance challenges. By the 1960s, with the rise of sports cars and growing demand for more ergonomic and performance-focused designs, column shifters began to decline in popularity. Floor shifters, offering better control and a sportier feel, became the preferred choice. Number 4. Luggage racks. Useful and used to be a common feature on cars, especially during the mid-20th century era. Typically mounted on the roof or trunk to carry extra luggage, they were popular for family road trips and vacations when car trunks were often small and couldn't fit all the luggage needed for long journeys. Initially, people liked luggage racks for their practicality, but they soon encountered problems. The racks added significant wind resistance, reducing fuel efficiency, and could even be noisy in the wind. They also posed safety risks, as improperly secured luggage could fall off and cause accidents. Additionally, the racks were prone to rust and damage, requiring frequent maintenance. As car designs improved, manufacturers began incorporating larger trunks and more efficient storage solutions, which reduced the need for external luggage racks. The introduction of roof boxes and more aerodynamic designs provided safer and more practical alternatives, leading to the decline of luggage racks by the late 20th century. Number 3. Car phones. Car phones were mobile telephones designed for use in cars, first introduced by Bell System in 1946 in St. Louis, Missouri. These early phones were large and heavy, weighing about 80 pounds, and took up significant space in the car. They were mainly popular among business professionals who needed to stay connected while traveling. Despite the excitement of making calls from a car, the service had its drawbacks. The limited number of channels led to frequent busy signals, and the high cost of installation and service fees made car phones a luxury item. Safety concerns also emerged, as using a phone while driving could distract drivers and cause accidents. As technology advanced, mobile phones became smaller, more affordable, and widely available. By the 1990s, the convenience of handheld mobile phones replaced car phones, and the introduction of Bluetooth and integrated car communication systems further reduced the need for dedicated car phones. Number 2. Hood ornaments. These were once a popular decorative feature mounted on the front of cars, often on the radiator cap. They became widespread in the 1920s and 30s, serving as both brand identifiers and symbols of luxury. Automakers like Rolls-Royce, with its famous Spirit of Ecstasy, and Cadillac, with its winged figures, used these ornaments to enhance the elegance and uniqueness of their vehicles. While initially admired for their aesthetic appeal, hood ornaments posed several issues. They could be dangerous in accidents, potentially causing injury to pedestrians, and were also prone to theft and damage. Additionally, as car designs evolved towards more streamlined and aerodynamic shapes, hood ornaments became less practical. By the 1960s, safety regulations and changing consumer tastes led to their decline. Today, hood ornaments are rare, mainly found on vintage cars or as retractable features on luxury models, replaced by sleek, integrated logos that maintain brand identity without compromising safety. And at number 1, we have pop-up headlights. Very cool indeed. These were a unique car feature that first appeared in the 1930s. These headlights could flip up when needed and hide under the car's exterior when not in use, giving vehicles a sleek, modern look. The Cord 810, introduced in 1936, was the first car to showcase this innovation. Pop-up headlights became especially popular in the 1980s and 1990s, particularly in cars like the Mazda MX-5 and the Chevy Corvette, much like my 2000 C5 Corvette. Initially, consumers were fascinated by their novelty and style, but pop-up headlights had several drawbacks. The mechanical parts were prone to failure, leading to maintenance issues. Additionally, changing safety regulations made it difficult for manufacturers to comply with new standards, and the headlights posed a risk to pedestrians in accidents. By the early 2000s, pop-up headlights were phased out in favor of more reliable and safer fixed headlights. But boy, those flip-up headlights looked way better. Hey, if you enjoyed this video or our channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future videos. We love having you here, and we love knowing what you think in the comments, so let us know. And we'll see you next time. 10 worst truck engines of all time. Truck engines are the heart of our beloved workhorses, but not all hearts beat strong. Some are time bombs just waiting to explode. Today, we're revealing the top 10 worst truck engines ever made. Legendary failures that'll make you cringe. Number 10, Ford 2.7-liter EcoBoost V6. This engine promised innovation and efficiency, but quickly became infamous under the nickname EcoBust. While its twin-turbo design was technologically advanced, its reliability left much to be desired. One of the most alarming issues was excessive oil consumption, with many owners reporting the engine burned a quart every 3,000 miles, far from acceptable. Turbocharger failures were another common headache, often occurring without warning and leaving drivers stranded in inconvenient situations. In some cases, these engines didn't even reach the 50,000-mile mark before requiring complete replacement, which is shockingly premature for a modern truck engine. For many, the combination of high maintenance costs and frequent issues overshadowed any performance benefits this engine could offer. While Ford's "Built Ford Tough" slogan may resonate with their more dependable models, the 2.7-liter EcoBoost proved to be an unfortunate exception, leaving many owners questioning its toughness and value in the long run. Hey folks, thanks for spending time with us talking about what we love most, classic cars and the engines that drive them. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so we can let you know every time we publish a new video on one you would love to remember. Number 9, Toyota 3.0-liter V6, the 3VZ-E. Now this engine was a paradox in the automotive world. Renowned for Toyota's trademark reliability, it also carried significant flaws that frustrated owners. Producing only 150 horsepower, this engine lacked the muscle needed for typical truck tasks, struggling with even modest towing and hauling duties. This left many owners feeling underwhelmed by its presence. One of its most notorious issues was frequent head gasket failures, which became so common that they were practically expected. For those who relied on this engine, these problems meant repeated trips to the mechanic and mounting repair bills. Yet, there was a silver lining. With diligent maintenance and careful use, the 3VZE could deliver exceptional longevity. Some owners reported these engines surpassing 300,000 miles without major failures, a testament to its durability under the right conditions. Ultimately, the 3VZE was a mixed bag. Its reliability was offset by glaring weaknesses, making it a curious blemish in an otherwise strong lineup of Toyota powertrains. Number 8. Dodge 4.7-liter V8. Here was a risky bet for truck owners, often turning into a mechanical nightmare. One of its most notorious flaws was its tendency to drop valve seats, a failure that could lead to catastrophic engine damage without warning. Adding to the frustration, the rocker arms were prone to falling off, making the engine's valve train a frequent trouble spot. The engine also had a serious issue with oil sludge buildup, which developed rapidly if oil changes weren't performed on time. Missing even one oil change could spell disaster, leading to complete engine failure in extreme cases. While some owners managed to squeeze decent lifespans out of these engines through meticulous maintenance, they were the exception rather than the rule. For many, the 4.7-liter V8 was a money pit, with costly repairs and early replacements becoming an all-too-common experience. Ultimately, this engine left a bad taste for those seeking a dependable workhorse, tarnishing Dodge's reputation for reliability. Number 7. Nissan 5.0-liter Cummins V8. This one had high expectations, but ultimately fell short, becoming the source of frustration for many truck owners. Despite the prestige of the Cummins name, the engine suffered from a host of reliability issues. Turbochargers, a critical component of its performance, often failed prematurely, leaving drivers stranded and facing excessive repairs. The DEF system, the diesel exhaust fluid, designed to reduce emissions, proved temperamental, frequently throwing error codes and causing headaches for owners. On top of that, fuel economy was abysmal, making the engine an impractical choice for anyone hoping to save at the pump. Nissan's bold attempt to enter the diesel truck market quickly soured as reliability concerns mounted. Many trucks were bought back by Nissan, a costly and telling sign of the engine's widespread problems. What should have been a groundbreaking partnership with Cummins ended up as a costly experiment that tarnished Nissan's reputation in the competitive truck market. Number 6. Chevrolet GMC 5-cylinder Atlas. The 5-cylinder Atlas inline engine was an unconventional choice that unfortunately missed the mark. Designed to balance power and efficiency, the engine instead became infamous for frequent mechanical issues. Misfires were a constant problem, with many owners reporting rough idle and loss of power. Fuel injector failures were another widespread issue, often resulting in erratic performance and costly repairs. To make matters worse, valve seat wear plagued the engine, sometimes leading to significant internal damage. These persistent problems translated into high maintenance costs and a frustrating owner experience. For many truck buyers, the 5-cylinder Atlas didn't deliver on its promises, leaving them questioning its practicality and reliability. GM eventually retired the engine, quietly acknowledging its shortcomings. While some owners appreciated its unique design and occasional moments of reliability, the engine's legacy is marred by frequent failures and unfulfilled expectations, leaving it as a cautionary tale in GM's otherwise excellent history of truck engines. Number 5. Ram 3.0-liter EcoDiesel V6. Promising a blend of power and efficiency would lead to unmet expectations. At the core of its troubles, frequent oil cooler failures, which turned engine oil into a milkshake-like mixture that signaled impending disaster. The EGR systems were equally problematic, leaking coolant and causing a host of performance issues. One of the most troubling flaws was the camshaft gear slippage, which threw off engine timing and led to persistent misfires. Main bearing failures added to the woes, often resulting in a catastrophic engine damage that demanded costly repairs or replacements. For many owners, the dream of an eco-friendly and capable diesel engine turned into a nightmare of frequent breakdowns and skyrocketing maintenance expenses. Ram attempted to address the issues with updates and recalls, but the damage to the engine's reputation was already done. The 3.0-liter eco-diesel serves as a reminder that bold claims must be backed by reliable engineering. Number 4. Chevrolet 5.3-liter V8 with AFM. This Chevy engine was designed to balance power and fuel economy, but it ended up causing more headaches than savings. One of the biggest flaws was excessive oil consumption. Some owners reported needing a quart of oil every 1,000 miles, which is far from acceptable for a modern engine. This excessive use often led to lifter failures, creating ticking noises and eventual engine damage. The AFM system, intended to deactivate cylinders when not needed to save fuel, often malfunctioned and added to the engine's woes. Many owners found it more trouble than it was worth and disabled the system entirely to avoid costly repairs. Although Chevy later addressed some of these issues, the damage to its reputation among truck owners was already done. The 5.3-liter V8 with AFM became a cautionary example of how good intentions can fall short when reliability takes a back seat. It left many loyal customers frustrated and seeking alternatives. Number 3. Ford 6.4-liter Power Stroke Diesel V8. Unfortunately, this was one of Ford's most troublesome engines, earning a reputation for constant issues and high repair costs. One of its major problems was oil dilution, where fuel mixed with engine oil, leading to severe wear and shortened lifespan. Radiator leaks were another common issue, requiring frequent coolant refills and causing overheating. The EGR cooler failures often resulted in coolant mixing with exhaust gases, causing white smoke and potential engine damage. Turbochargers were also prone to failure, leaving drivers without power when they needed it most. With so many problems compounding, the repair bills for this engine were astronomical, making ownership an expensive and frustrating experience. Many owners found themselves frequently visiting mechanics, with breakdowns becoming an all-too-common occurrence. Despite its promising specs, the 6.4-liter Power Stroke's reliability was a major letdown. It left Ford with a tarnished reputation among truck enthusiasts and a customer base that had been burned by what was supposed to be a tough and reliable workhorse. Number 2. Ford 6.0-liter Power Stroke Diesel V8. Here we have another one of Ford's most infamous engines, known for its relentless issues and high repair costs. This engine was plagued by head gasket failures that led to catastrophic leaks and engine damage. EGR cooler problems were another major flaw, often causing coolant to mix with exhaust gases, resulting in white smoke and potential engine failure. Injectors also had a troubling tendency to fail, leading to poor performance and costly replacements. These issues were so widespread that a whole industry emerged around bulletproofing the 6.0-liter Power Stroke, involving aftermarket fixes to try and make the engine reliable. Despite these efforts, many owners still found themselves spending more on repairs than the truck's original value. This engine's reputation as a mechanical nightmare continues to echo through the truck community, making it one of the most notorious and dreaded engines in Ford's history. The 6.0-liter Power Stroke is a prime example of how a promising design can turn into a costly misfire. And the number 1 worst truck engine on this list the Ford 5.4-liter Triton V8, finally earning its place as one of the worst truck engines due to persistent design flaws. Spark plugs were notorious for blowing out, often taking the threads with them and requiring costly repairs. Cam phasers, essentially for timing and smooth operation, frequently failed, causing rough idling and poor performance. Timing chains stretched prematurely, lending to misfires and significant engine damage. Oil sludge buildup was another major issue, causing critical failures if not addressed quickly. These problems combined to create a financial nightmare for truck owners, with repair costs skyrocketing as engines aged. The 5.4-liter Triton V8 became synonymous with frustration and high maintenance expenses, tarnishing Ford's reputation for reliability. Though Ford eventually improved this engine's design in later models, it came too late for those who had already endured the headaches and financial strain. The 5.4-liter Triton V8 remains a cautionary tale of how even the most trusted brands can falter when engineering choices go wrong. In conclusion, if you've dealt with any of these troublesome engines, you know the pain firsthand. And if you haven't, consider yourself lucky. When it comes to choosing your next truck, do your research and avoid these mechanical missteps. Remember, not all that glitters is gold. Sometimes it's just a shiny piece of junk waiting to let you down. Hey, thanks for spending time with us talking about what we love most, classic cars. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so we can let you know every time we publish a new video on a car you would love to remember.